Hi, welcome to GoDataFi.com. So today we are going to see a Spark Cassandra connector via shell. So Spark is a processing framework which will do batch and streaming, and Cassandra is a top NoSQL database. So Spark Cassandra is a wonderful combination. Means Spark doesn't have an inbuilt NoSQL database, so that we have to use any third-party NoSQL databases. Spark can connect with HBase, MongoDB, Cassandra, and more. So Spark is a processing framework, as I said before. So now my data is in Cassandra. How to process those data in my Spark? So that's what we are going to achieve via Spark Cassandra connector, and I'm going to show you via shell. Two types of Cassandra connector connection is possible. One is via code API. You can write a Scala code or a Java code in Spark to connect with the Cassandra. And another thing is Spark, they are providing a Spark shell for a testing purpose. So you can use the Spark shell for connecting with the Cassandra. So this Spark Cassandra connector in internet, if you find, they will be giving a source and you have to build that so that the jar will be get created. You have to use that jar. And while building such kind of a code, source code, lot of people, they are getting many issues. So that's why I'm going to show you the Spark Cassandra connector in a manual way. You don't want to use any source to build and then to get a jar, so you can use the manual way. But while doing a manual way, you need to worry about the versions of Spark, Cassandra, and the connector. It's very important. So that combination I have given in my website, and you can find the link in my description of this video. And before entering into this, you need a single node Spark installation pre-install. It has to be installed already, and Cassandra also a single node. So these two, Spark installation and Cassandra installation, I have given the links of videos in the same YouTube, in the same videos description, so you can find that. So install your Spark and Cassandra, then come for this practical. Now we can enter into this. So I have downloaded whatever the prerequisite is needed, and before that, our YouTube channel is youtube.com/Hadoop Big Data, where we are providing a lot of lot of big data videos in YouTube. And we have a website, GoDataFi.com. Now back to the practical. So I have downloaded Apache Cassandra 2.1.12 and Spark 1.5.1 and JDK 1.7 is must. You should not use 1.6. And Cassandra driver core for Java communication 2.1.5. And then Spark Cassandra connector 2.10. You have to download. So for these two, the last two jar files, you type the file name as it is in Google, you will get the jar file. So you download it and place it in your download folder. I will tell you where to move this. So once you have installed Cassandra and Spark and Java, the first three, you have to set all these three in your bash or C. You have to set your Spark home, Cassandra home, and Java home. So I will show you that. And this is my bash RC. Okay, I will just open you one more time. I am open my bash RC. And at last you can see I have specified my Java home, Cassandra home, and Spark home. In your case, Hadoop home is not required. So this is for some other purpose I have given. So you have to give Java home and Cassandra home and Spark home, that is mandatory, that you have to give, and at last set everything in the path so that you can run Cassandra and Spark commands from any directories. So after executing this, save the bash RC, come out, and then execute the bash RC. Otherwise, the changes whatever you have done in bash RC will never come into picture. So for executing bash RC, source space dot bash RC. So you have to execute. So many people, they used to do some changes and they won't do this execution. So people say like, I have done everything correctly, but I didn't get any output. Means after doing some changes in bash RC, immediately you have to execute, then only the changes will come into picture. Now I have downloaded Spark and Cassandra. You can see here I have these two folders. So I have extracted it. So once you are extracting this Spark and Cassandra, now open the Spark folder 1.5.1 and go to conf. And you can find Spark env.sh, but not in your folder. You will be finding Spark env.sh template. Rename the file as Spark env.sh and open it. You have to find something like this. And in between the file, you have to add these two lines in your env.sh of Spark environment. So I have added the Java home and Spark class path. It's not Spark home, it's Spark class path, and I'm pointing the lib. And the star is mandatory, don't forget. Save this file and now come back to the terminal and you can start your Spark and Cassandra. So to start your Cassandra, you just change your directory to Cassandra. Just give bin/Cassandra space -f to start it in foreground. So once this is started, leave this terminal as it is and open a new terminal. And means I have started it already, so that's why I didn't start it. So open a new terminal means once this is started, you should not use this terminal. For example, you can see in this terminal my Cassandra is running. See, so that I should not use this terminal. So you leave this terminal as it is and open a new terminal and enter into the Spark shell. Sorry, Cassandra shell. So you need to enter into the Cassandra shell. Okay, so you can see here, open a new terminal and just type bin/equal/sh, so it will enter into the Cassandra shell. Okay, now after this you have to start your Spark. So for starting Spark, open a new terminal, because one is for Cassandra which is already running and one is Cassandra shell. So you leave these two terminal and open a new tab and change the directory to Spark. See, I have changed the directory. And now start your Spark by giving sbin/start-all.sh will start your daemons of Spark. If I give enter, means it says stop it first, means it is already running. Now if I give jps Cassandra daemon, means Cassandra is running, and then master and worker, which is Spark daemons. Okay. Now you have to start your Spark shell before that. So this is just I'm saying how to start. Okay. So but before doing all these things, start. The very important thing that you have to do, that is very important before starting all these things, what you have to do is, I have given a point here. You can see after setting the environment path, Spark env.sh is also done. Now the next, this is what the very important point that you have to do. You have to copy all the Cassandra library jars to Spark lib. You have to copy all the jar files from the Cassandra lib folder and you have to move that to Spark lib folder. Plus the core driver which you have downloaded, means I told you to download. So I have to go to my Apache Cassandra and open your lib folder and copy all the jars. If you have any folder like this, you eliminate it. Copy all the jar files and go to your Spark folder. You can find a one more lib folder there. Right click and paste. So by default inside your Spark lib folder only 4 to 5 jars will be there. Now I added all the Cassandra jars, and you can see also I have added the core driver 2.1.5 which I have already downloaded, which is there in my download, and I have copied it and moved it to my Spark lib folder. So once you have done these steps, next step is to start, then only you have to start. So start your Cassandra, then start your Spark, everything. So in Cassandra, we have to create a key space, which is called a database in RDBMS kind of key space. We used to call key space. I created a key space as Go data file with replication and everything. And I created a table as user with one column, and that is primary key. Cassandra will allow to create a table only it has a primary key field. And then insert a data, I have just inserted a John and I was just giving select star from user. Okay, I've done all these queries. Now I'm going to run only this select query. Okay, now you can see I have one name as Go data file. Okay, so I have a content. Okay, fine. Now you have to start your Spark. So we started the Spark. So the point which I have missed here is, so now you have to start your Spark like sbin/start -all.sh. Now after starting the Spark, now you have to start your shell, Spark shell. So here in top you can see these things we have used. So the first 4 things we used, right? Now the last thing which we have not yet used is the connector, which is very, very important to establish a connection between Spark and Cassandra. How to use this? Now I told you to start the Spark shell, right? So you have to start the Spark shell. For that, just give bin/spark-shell. And after this, you have to pass the jar file, the one which we have downloaded for Spark Cassandra connector. Just give -jars. Jars, it's not jar, it's jars. Then give the path of your Cassandra connector. My Cassandra connector is inside the Spark folder. That's why I've just given like this. If it is in home, just then give /home/username, like that you have to give. Now I'm going to start my Spark shell with a jar which I have loaded, the Spark Cassandra connector. So it will take some time to start the shell because everything has to be get loaded, like Spark library and then Cassandra library. and whatever the internal libraries it has, like Hive, Hadoop, everything will be get loaded. So the logs will be saying that for you. So it will take some little amount of time, not more than that. Based on your RAM, maybe it will be very speed based on the RAM. Currently, I'm using 4 GB RAM with my machine. So you can even see map, read, Hive, context, everything is loaded. Along with that, our Cassandra libraries also will be get loaded. So once these logs has been means even once the log has get generated, our Scala shell will be coming into picture. Even if you want to remove this logs, you can use the logger to remove this log. The logger configuration was there inside the conf folder. You can remove it, but it is very important for debugging. Okay, so let it load. Now I am having some practical commands to do with the Spark shell. So this is to create a new Spark context saying that I have a Cassandra connection. And then this is the next part is to access the Cassandra data via Spark shell. Now I have to import, first we have to import all these three which is needed for the code which we are going to give in a shell. And you can see the Spark shell is loaded here, Scala shell. The Scala shell is loaded, means the Spark shell is nothing but the Scala. Now I'm just going to clear the screen, okay. Now I just paste all the imports which I have copied. You can do a bulk copy and you can paste, or you can do one by one. So I have imported whatever it is needed for me. And then now I'm going to stop the Spark context, means whatever any old Spark context was running, then I have to stop it. I'm just stopping it. So at last give an enter, it won't return you. After it says remote shutdown, then give an enter so that the Scala shell will come. Now next thing is you have to create a configuration saying that where your Cassandra is running. So for that you have to use spark.cassandra.connection.host, which is mandatory. You should not do any mistake on this syntax, and then say your IP. The Cassandra is running on localhost. Localhost is nothing but 127.0.0.1. So copy this and paste it here. Okay, it is loaded. Now next thing is I have to create my Spark context with the configurations, and my Spark context name is test. I am loaded the Spark context also. Now with respect to creating a new Spark context is over. Now I have to access the Cassandra data. For that the import is Spark connector. So you have to load this. See, I have loaded. So if you get means some people they are what actually they are doing is they are just starting the Spark shell just by giving Spark -shell. If you started the shell like that and then you are giving this, you will get an error. So you have to start your Spark shell along with the jar which we have downloaded, that Spark Cassandra connector.jar. Okay, now next thing is I have to create an RDD saying that my database name sc.cassandra table, and this is my key space and this is my table name. Just give an enter. Okay, it is loaded. So next I have to access it. So I'm just going to print the RDD. First means I'm going to get the first data of my table. So just loaded. See, at last you can see I got the data. Cassandra row, the name is the column name, and go data file, which I got it from my, you can see whatever it is there in my Cassandra, which is coming in the Spark shell. So the Spark Cassandra connection has been done in two ways, as I told you before, like it is possible via shell and also it is possible via code. So this shell is people used to use for the testing purpose. Once it was done successfully, people used to go for an API. So in next video, like we can see the streaming processing with Spark and Cassandra. So thanks for watching GoDataFi.com. If you like this video, subscribe our channel, and we have a lot of big data videos and programming languages has been given in our channel. So stay in touch with